Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at a team from the current world champion in Pokemon Go, Hery, and this team is really strong. I got this team from a list of teams from Manetiquins, who always ask basically content creators and well-known trainers on what their favorite teams are for the specific league, so link down below as well. But I took a look here at Hery's team, who is the current world champion, and the last time I looked in the leaderboards, they were also, I think, in the top 5 of the current leaderboards, which got updated at least. Currently, I'm looking at it right now, they're number 19 on the leaderboards. You're most likely gonna see them as well on the thumbnail. I am not too sure if this is the team that they're currently using, but this is the team that they literally suggested just before the Great League came around. So I could definitely see that being the case. We're going to have a very interesting team here, and I can tell you already, by the way, this team absolutely worked out super well for me. So I could definitely see that they were running this team as well, because yeah, this team is absolutely amazing. But yeah, we're going to see the Ice Beam coming through. This is going to be fine for us. So we have the shield coming up against the opponent's Cradily. I'm going to try to go for the full farm down here, and we're going to be able to get the KO and now win the battle, because the Cloud side doesn't really have anything to do. But this team honestly was really good for me. Like, I can definitely recommend you to give this team a try, and we can move on to the second one. So, we're going to have an amazing lead here. We know that we're going to need to keep alignment, and we're going to have the Lapras now up against the Clodsire. I can go for the Sparkling Aria here, and I should also be able to outspeed them afterwards as well, hopefully. But as we will see, we do some solid amount of damage. We're going to be able to go ahead and take the Earthquake. And I don't know why, but I am going to decide to use a shield here, and it doesn't make sense. Like, I should have not done this. That doesn't make sense at all. Sludge Bomb does less damage than the Earthquake is gonna do, and even if it was an Earthquake, it would have most likely been okay here. So yeah, that was a bit silly, but it's okay. We're gonna get the KO against the opponent. We're going to still have the alignment, which is kind of cool. Sparkling Area is still going to be able to connect here as well. It is looking still very solid for us. But if it's going to lose the battle, that was definitely a silly play by me. Definitely could have played this one a little bit better. Sludge coming through, going to knock us out. They're going to swap out, they're going to have Golisopod here, and we're going to be able to go for one charge move here. It's going to be, of course, the Aerial Ace. Getting the shield, which is great, because Aerial Ace is doing less damage than Discharge would do here, and we are going to actually let the move go through, as it's a super effective hit. It's of course going to do a lot of damage, but we are very bulky as a Stunfisk, and we are going to be able to take the hit quite easily. And with this, we're going to even be able to just go for the full farmland against the opponent here, as the Thunder Shock down is a very solid option. We'll see the Swampert coming back in again, but what we can do next is we can go for a Mud Bomb, and then we can swap out again, catching the move here. Is it a Hydro Cannon? Is it a Sludge? It is going to be the Sludge. Great prediction there, but does it really matter? I don't think so, because we have the Aerial Ace stored. The opponent decides to forfeit now anyway. Next up, we have the Cradily. This is kind of a bit of an awkward position here. Why? You always kind of with this as a superior, like, don't get me wrong, like, it is still a good position. But do you go straight for the charge move, or do you go for one over? Why is such an issue? Basically, you get to the charge move at the exact same time as the opponent, like literally the exact same time. If you go for one more fast move as a superior, you're going to have better fast move timing, so you don't give the opponent a free fast move. But what if the opponent goes straight for the Rock Tomb? Then they debuff you first. But if you go for the charge move straight away for your superior, the opponent gets a free fast move in, you give them basically 3 turns for free. So it's always kind of like this guessing game. Here in this case, the opponent went for an extra free fast move, but it doesn't matter, we're still going to be able to win. I do think the best play is, as a superior, to go for the move straight away, because otherwise it can be a bit tricky to two-shot the Cradily with the Frenzy Plant. You kind of want to get the Frenzy Plant off without having the debuff on it, because otherwise it's going to be a bit of a difficult one. Here we want to see, the Azumarill, which generally speaking is a Pokemon that we can super easily deal with this amazing team here, as we're going to have 3 Pokemon that can deal with it. In this case, I guess Lapras is going to be a bit more tricky, because we're not running Scalbish. I'm not too sure if they're running Scalbish or Ice Beam. I have the Ice Beam variant here. Both are fine. There have been definitely times where I was missing a bit of the Scalbish, but there were also times where I definitely enjoyed the Ice Beam quite a bit in order to counter Grass-type Pokemon. And as in the text here on the graphic, it said as well that Lapras was mainly used to bait out potential Grass-type Pokemon, so the Stunfisk doesn't have to face it. I was assuming that Ice Beam makes the most amount of sense here. On this Pokemon here, I think I would have been able to survive a hit, by the way. I should have not really used the shield. but it doesn't really matter because the Sableye goes down and I can just win this now with my Lapras, and with this, we're gonna be able to now move on to the next opponent. Jumpluff it is. We're gonna try to do our Aerial Aces here. This is going to be a very tough matchup for us. So, problem here is, this is kind of the Pokemon that you don't really want to face at all, because it's going to have super effective coverage against the entire team. Of course, a one Ice Beam is going to basically one-shot it from a Lapras, but trying to get there is the issue. They're also going to outspeed me here, which is another issue. They're going to be able to generate energy a little bit faster than I can do. So my goal is here to try to catch an Aerial Ace on our Lapras. Let's see if this is going to work out for us. It absolutely did not work out at all, and so we're going to be forced to use a shield here, and it's going to be becoming even worse. Well, even worse? I don't know. We're going to be able to see here that they're going to get the drop onto our defense, which is way more significant than you might expect, because they have a Pokemon now with fast move pressure, and without the defense drop onto us, this would have been a way better matchup and a way easier matchup for us to survive as a Lapras, but no, that is not going to be the case, and we're going to get a ton of damage, which we should have usually not been really able to get there. And you see me here going to my Stunfisk and keeping a Charge Move stored on the other Pokemon, just to realize that we're getting completely hardwalled, to the point that there is nothing that I can do to really fix that issue. As here we're going to be able to go for the Mud Bomb, and we can still get to another Mud Bomb as well here, apparently. Yeah, the Gaston is going to be a bit of a pain, but as you will see, we're going to get them low. They're going to go for an Earth Power, because it's the only way of us going down here. But we're still in such a bad position. We can go for the full farm and have a Frenzy Plant stored, but what am I gonna do next? I can get the KO here, but we still have the Lapras. It's gonna be kinda game over. They're going to reveal, of course, they still have the Jumpluff there in the back, and if it's an Aerial Ace I survive, it's not. And so we're gonna lose this battle here. Close still, which I like, but it is what it is. Meloma, that's going to be a very neutral lead. Actually a lead that I kinda like, because I don't want to have this Pokemon against my Lapras. Well played by the opponent here, catching the move on a Swallow. That's actually really bad for us. And now it's the question, do I go into my Lapras or do I go into my Stunfisk? And I decided to go into my Lapras. Why? Stunfisk is going to be able to, of course, resist the stab damage of this Pokemon, which is, of course, just poison type moves. But the issue here is that Swallow has access to a fast move that's super effective and a charge move that's super effective. So I would have assumed here that the Lapras is my best way of playing against this Pokemon. And they can still go for another charge move, and I kind of really would like to get alignment, but I let the move go through, and it still does work out, which is really nice for us. They're going to go back into the Meloma. I can go back into my Serperior, hoping that they're going to have nothing in the back that I am going to be weak against, but we already found out like one Pokemon that would be 2 times catching the move on a Pokemon. Especially this really kind of hurts, but it's not over. What we can do here is we can go into a Stunfisk, which is a hard wall to Corviknight, which is at least kind of cool for us. And especially for the charge moves here, apparently they have Sky Attack and Iron Head based on what they are doing. We're gonna be kind of okay here. Yeah, next Iron Head is coming through. Luckily, it's going to be Sky Attack and Iron Head, which are both going to be moves that are resisted from me. And I can do some solid damage here, but now I kind of have to overfarm by quite a lot. They're gonna go into the Meloma. And for me, I think it's worth it for me to actually use a shield here, which I do as well. But I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to still win the battle. They played this so far really, really well, because they haven't really been in a great position either. And so I can go for a charge move here. It's going to be the Frenzy Plant. It is going to allow us to get the shield. And we are gonna only go for the Aerial Ace now. This is going to be enough to get the shield. And we are trying our best here. But yeah, sadly, it's going to be not enough to win this matchup, or is it? As they swap out into the Corviknight, we can go for the charge move here, and I don't think they have a lot of energy on that Meloma, and so what we can do is we can swap back into our Stunfisk, go for the Mud Bomb, and say goodbye to the opponent, because this is going to be a very good game. We can move on to the next one. Guzzy Wuzzy here. You're gonna swap out into our Lapras. We can try to go for an Ice Beam here. And we will see on how this is gonna go, because Ice Beam is not really that common on this Pokemon, because most people are running Skull Bash, but because most people are running Skull Bash, they might want to use a shield here, thinking that it is a Skull Bash, and that's exactly what's going to be happening here, which is absolutely amazing, as we are going to be able to now take the hit again. We're gonna try to go for our charge move as well. This is going to allow us to get them kind of low, and I can go into my Stunfisk, and I know that they're going to outspeed me generally speaking, and so I don't even gonna try to go for any CMP or anything like this, because I don't think it really helps us. And so we're gonna go for a discharge instead. This is going to work out very solidly here, because you get the shield and we can just go for the full farm down afterwards. So, yeah, let's see on how this is gonna go. We're gonna try to go for a nice charge move here. This is gonna work out really, really well. It's gonna get us into a position where hopefully another Mud Bomb after the next Mud Bomb is gonna not be enough to knock them out. But as we will see here, they're gonna go for the Brutal Swing. We can catch the move onto the Lapras, and we can go for the Mud Bomb spam. I don't want to risk anything. I thought of overfiring by a little bit here, but I want to go for the double Mud Bomb here just to get rid of the opponent, because there is nothing that I really want to have here other than, hey, Gastly is going to be kind of the worst Pokemon that I could imagine. So let's see what's going to be in the back. Oh, wait, it's not way better. Yeah, Swallowed, that Pokemon is going to be a great Pokemon to run, just not against my team, please. We have to catch the move here. They have Ice Beam. Ice Beam is going to connect here as well. And I need to still even get them a little bit lower in order to have a chance of winning this with our Stunfisk. And so the Aerial Ace is coming through. They're going to decide to go for a charge move here to try to get the KO. But they still have the Golisopod, I think, with a few HP left in the back. And we're gonna be able to go for the full farm down. Can we get to the CMP tie here? We're gonna lose the CMP tie. And sadly, we're gonna lose the battle now as well with that. Or not. We survive with a 1 HP the Sludge, and this is going to be it for this battle, and we can move on to the next opponent. So, really badly. That is kind of one of the worst possible leads, but then again, you can actually play it out quite decently with your Lapras. Lapras is going to be okay. I don't think it is a bad one at all. And they're going to swap out into the Golisopod, and again, we're going to be able to go for the same stuff that we did before. They don't really want to get hit by a hard-hitting Skullbash, and so we can go for the bait here, and even get a little bit more damage into that as well. So here, Sparkling Area is coming in. We're going to be able to try our best and fully farm them down here, but it doesn't work out, so we have to kind of go ahead and go for the Serperior. Trying to go for the full farm down here is not going to work out either. We see the charge move coming through. It's going to be the X-Scissor. And we have the shield coming up next. That is going to be another X-Scissor coming through. We're going to try our best to go for the full farm down. In comes the opponent's Swampert, and that's going to be a good game. We just got completely hardwalled in this battle. So yeah, in comes the Weezing. This is going to be interesting as well. We're going to be able to go for the charge move here in time. That is something that usually doesn't happen. A lot of times they're going to swap out before that. And so yeah, we're gonna decide to let the move go through here. This is going to be, oh, no, we're actually gonna use a shield. It's going to be Overheat. I see a lot of hype towards Overheat Weezing recently. Definitely way more common recently than I think even Brutal Swing. I think people are kind of dropping Brutal Swing because Sludge is like too good to give up. Like honestly, Sludge is such a strong move that you don't really want to give up Sludge at all. So yeah, as we will see, we're gonna use a shield here again as well. It's going to be an Ice Beam. That is kind of interesting from the opponent that they have that, but we can go for the full farm on here, leaving with a ton of energy. In comes the Weezing. It is a bad matchup for us, don't get me wrong, but we at least get a minimum of a shield, which is going to be cool. And so, yeah, here we are going to be able to go for another charge move. It's going to get the shield again. And let's see what we're going to have here as well. They're going to go for the Sludge or an Overheat. Let's see. It's going to be the Overheat knocking us out straight away. And it's down to the Stunfisk against an entire, Stunfisk here. Stunfisk against the Sableye is what I want to say. This is going to be okay. Mud Bomb is going to be fine there. I have still a Sparkling Area start. This is actually a mistake, by the way, by swapping out like this. Because it gives the opponent an opportunity to go for the full farm down, which they don't. And like this, I win. Like there's nothing they can do. There's absolutely nothing they can do. We are going to be able to just win this battle, and this is perfect here for us, as we are going to get out the Weezing. We can now go for the full farm down, and we win the battle, and this is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.